You know where you should go. Go to Hale.
Welcome to One Hale of a podcast, brought to you by Hale Law, Accident Attorneys. I'm your host, Patrick Hale. And that's my voice for a podcast intro. Who do we have here? What's your name?
My name is Rose Kasweck.
Nice.
One of the attorneys here at Hale Law.
I was about to ask how you know me, but yeah, so one of our top attorneys here at Hale Law, maybe the top, I don't know if that lives that. She's a great attorney, but she has some other fun facts about her that we're going to talk about today here on the pod.
Yeah.
We'll get into those, but we always have to start off with this intro stuff. So, tell us, where'd you grow up, Rose?
Native Floridian, grew up over in Brevard County on the Space Coast in a tiny little town called Grant, Florida.
Grant, Florida?
Yeah.
I knew it's over in Brevard, but Grant, Florida?
Grant, yeah.
I thought you were outside of Titusville.
Titusville is North Brevard. Grant is South Brevard. They're like an hour away from each other. It's a long, skinny county.
So how far were you from NASA?
Probably like 45 minutes. Not that close. But I went to Cocoa Beach High School, so I was up there in that area a lot.
Nice. How was high school? A lot of surfers?
A lot of surfers, a lot of beach, flip-flops and sunglasses every day. Florida life.
Florida life. Same. No surfing here, but it's nice here. I love Sarasota, all the West Coast. It's definitely the best coast by far.
Yeah, we got those calm beaches over here. The white sands and not a lot of surf. It's a little rockier for Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, I think back in the day I liked the East Coast. I grew up in Orlando. I liked the East Coast. It was good for surfing. Just more fun when you're little, playing in the waves.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm used to. You know?
Yeah, now that I'm older, I like no waves.
Yeah, we'll calm.
Yeah. So let's talk about a fun fact. Let's talk about what your parents do.
Sure.
I thought it was interesting when I first found out. Not as interesting as what we're about to talk about, which is the most interesting thing. Very unique. But what do your parents do?
Well, my parents they're retired now, but they're both microbiologists, and they were professors, college professors. So I obviously went in the complete opposite direction, ran far away from science.
Yeah, you went into people. I mean, that's really what we do is people.
Yeah.
But it explains why you're smarter than I am, probably.
Well, I had high expectations to reach, so.
Yeah, and double gator.
Yes.
I don't know if you're no gator chomps here on this podcast. We're USF full.
Yeah, we're honorary boys.
Microbiology. What's it like growing up with parents who are scientists? Do they like?
I mean, it's cool because they know a lot of stuff that you don't know, and being in biology. Even though that's not their main field, they were interested in botany, interested in animals. So they would go on hikes and they could identify different plants.
That's cool.
Animals and stuff. So that was cool. And they kind of had a cool job. People wanted to what do your parents do? Well, they work in a lab. They work on DNA.
They work on DNA.
Yeah, my mom worked on the human genome. So.
What, that Human Genome Project that you hear about all the time?
Is where they originally mapped all of the human chromosomes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one did she find?
I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, worked on
you gotta find that out
I
next
did.
time you come back on the pod.
Yeah, I worked on a lot of rat and mice DNA, but also human DNA.
Huh.
So.
That's pretty interesting. So, professors, they like to teach. We have every week a knowledge session, and Rose sometimes teaches the knowledge session. I think you do a pretty good job. Explain everything to paralegals, other attorneys. Fun fact, since we're talking about science, I was just watching Neil deGrasse Tyson reel on social media, and he said in order to teach something, you have to know it 10 times better than whoever you're teaching. I think you do.
Well,
in a lot of areas, especially for the paralegals, you break things down. You're a good teacher.
I appreciate that. There's probably a lot more winging it than I would like, but it just once you start trying to teach something, it proves to you how well you know it, whether you're able to break it down or whether you're like flailing. You're like, ooh, I wasn't as prepared for this as I thought I was. But usually it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So you ever gonna be a professor? Another Professor Kasweck?
I don't know. I don't think it would ever be my main gig, but I like teaching. I like seeing people learn. So, I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah, because I know there's associate professors.
Yeah.
We can be associate professors because we have a law degree. I know we were talking about the other day. So maybe one day we'll find out it's attorney, JD, boss, seller, trial attorney / associate professor.
Prof. Yeah.
Prof. So let's get into good stuff. When I first met Rose, she started. We talked about having a podcast here for like a couple years now. Now we're just acting, got it done, got the organization. But you have a podcast, and I realized this very early on. Yes. So, what's your podcast about?
So, my podcast is called Horror and a Half, and it's about all things horror and horror inspired. So, it's mostly movies because that's easy to do, and there's a lot of horror movies out there. But basically, anything in the horror genre we cover.
And so, have you always been into horror movies?
Not really. I was like scared as a kid. Like I was scared of being scared, so I didn't want to like put myself in that position. I remember like seeing, I think, Jurassic Park when I was little and it being kind of scary. But it was really my friend.
Jurassic Park.
I mean,
I was afraid of that too.
Yeah. My friend who I do the podcast with, Kelly, they're actually more of a wuss than me. Like growing up, they were never interested in that kind of stuff. Don't like being scared still to this day. But they were getting into horror movies. I'm like, what's this about? What's going on? And they wanted somebody to talk horror movies with. I'm like, I'll do it. I got more into it more for, I think, the love of podcasting because I've always loved podcasts. And like, that'd be interesting to do. Let's see how it goes. And just, I love movies generally. So like, let's go into the horror genre. Why not?
And I don't really watch movies at all.
No.
I think I watch like usually 2 or 3 movies a year. I did recently watch K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. My kids love it. And then we went to movie theaters this past Sunday. They had it on the movie theaters.
The sing-along?
The sing-along. So it was awesome. All these little girls, 9, 10 years old, when it came to the Soda Pop song, they all stand up at the same time. And they all know the dancers. I look over at my daughter. She was there with some friends from school. There was 7 kids from school that met up there. And she knows all these dance moves. And I'm like, I guess they practice them at school or something. But people love movies and horror movies. My kids obviously don't watch horror movies; they're too young. I never really got too into them. Especially, I don't think I've watched one in 10 years. My wife doesn't like them, but you like them, and there's a lot of. I do. Let me stop real fast. So when Rose first started here, I was like, she has a podcast. I got to find out more about her. I listened to 4 episodes of these horror movies. You guys break them down in a really funny way. You're sort of it seemed like you're making fun of these horror movies, especially you. You're just I don't know. The producer or the directors, they wouldn't have liked what you had to say.
Probably not. I mean, I love to riff. I love to just make jokes and talk a lot of BS. It's one of my best skills is just riffing on stuff. So. I really enjoy to do that. Cover everything.
So the scariest, since you're an expert in horror movies, scariest horror movie ever.
It's so hard to say scariest because I was telling you, I don't really get scared watching movies anymore. I was scared of being scared, but once I started watching them, it doesn't really bother me. I can turn it off, go right to sleep like a baby. But I think probably a memory that I have of being scared was watching The Sixth Sense when it first
Oh, that was scary. I did watch that when I was younger. We're the same age.
Yeah, so we're 12 or 13.
Is that how old I was when I was watching that?
I think it said 1999.
That was scary.
Yeah, me and my mom were watching it at home, and we actually turned it off. There was a scene where the kids had that had been in a shooting and their backs of their heads were blown out.
Oh yeah, when they turned around.
Yeah, they turned.
That stuck
and I'm like, this is too intense. We gotta turn this off. And I went right back to it the next day. I'm like, I gotta break it when
your mom wasn't looking.
But it was at the time. It was like, all right, this is a little too much for today. Let's take a breather. Let's come back to it later and find out what's going on.
But now no breathers are necessary.
Yeah.
So, you know, they get scary, and I noticed with like, it's almost like scary movies. It's sort of like practicing law a little bit. Like you have to know your audience. You have to, like when we go to trial, we're trying to emotionally connect with the jurors and get them to feel something for our clients. And we do that a lot of times through pacing. We pause, slow down. It's just like a horror movie, isn't it?
It is. It's what we do is a lot of storytelling, getting the jury to connect with what our clients have been going through. And yeah, you gotta build that story. You gotta make them care. You're building the tension, right? The jury is gonna want to hear from your client, gonna want to hear, how they've been done wrong, gonna want to hear all that. Rather, you don't want them bored. You don't want them sitting back.
Yeah,
I've heard too much about this already. Let's move on. You want them engaged.
So let's talk about sounds in horror movies. That's the scariest thing in my opinion. It's like they build up, but then sometimes you're just like, it builds up and then it's like, they're about to scare you. So then it's not scary. So what are some special ways to do it to scare people using sound in horror movies?
Well, I think there's obviously some iconic scores for horror movies. Like there's the Psycho score.
Oh, they all have their official soundtracks?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, let's go
there's
through
Jaws. Dun,
yeah, it builds up.
Yeah,
faster.
it builds up. Yeah, it gets you going. And you can use silence too. Like you can be ramping up the score and then have it drop out, and then that's when they really can get you good with a scare. So, you are all ready for it, and then you're like, wait, and then they get you.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. There's all these different. So when we talked about in the past, there's just so many different types of horror movies, scare movies, whatever you want to call them. What's your favorite genre? Oh, well, first off, list off 10 of them for the audience.
Well, I mean, you've got all different types of supernatural ones. You got ghosts, vampires, werewolves, zombies, slashers. There's more cerebral horror, aliens. There's all kinds. And
did you mention demons one?
Demons, yes.
That's
your
the
big old
scariest.
demons.
That's the scariest. Those are the scariest ones to me. I can't watch. Yeah. Yeah, those are scary to me. There's nothing scarier than demons.
Demons.
Yeah, those are the only ones where I'm like, man, I don't know. They seem too real.
Yeah, like the devils.
Yeah, the devil and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to mess around with those. But what's your favorite?
I think I like ghosts because there's just so many different ways that they can manifest, because it can be your trauma from the past, it can be something that you got involved in that you never should have got involved in, could just be a haunted house, could be fun, could be scary,
Is Beetlejuice a ghost? He is, right?
Technically a ghost.
He is, because he's dead, right?
He's the ghost with the most.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
See, I know I don't know. I haven't even watched a new Beetlejuice. I just rewatched the old one last Halloween because it was on whatever subscription I have. I don't know.
I love Beetlejuice.
I don't like movies enough to go out and have to pay for them.
Yeah.
I get the free ones or whatever's included in whatever subscriptions I have. What's the best ghost?
The best ghost.
I like Casper. He was friendly.
I mean, he's very
I don't like horror movies that much.
A nice ghost.
Friendly ghost. That's the type of ghost I like. They're my favorite.
like the ghosts in The Shining.
I haven't watched Shining. I know it's really famous.
Yeah.
What does that ghost do that's special?
They're just creepy. There's a bunch of them. Like there's the little twin girls that are ghosts that they say, "Come play with us." And then there's a beautiful lady who turns into like a nasty, rotty old lady once he gets close to her. So it's like they pull their little tricks. You know, they're like trying to lure you in, and then they get scared.
And then they just come through. They come through the wall right now.
Yeah.
Do you ever get? You never get scared? Like you don't watch a scary movie and then be like, you hear a noise and you're just like, you know.
I mean, maybe like a little bit, not like in a supernatural way, but in a like, did I lock my door kind of way?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I grew up kind of like enjoying being scared in that way. And my parents told me that our house was haunted.
They told you that. They were trying to scare you as a little kid.
Yeah.
I tell my kids monsters aren't real. How is it generationally monsters have been around forever? Like for thousands of years. People have been worried about monsters. I understand back in the day before they had everything with everyone videotaped everything. And maybe you could think there was a monster or something. You find some dinosaur bones. You're like, oh, it's a dragon. But why are people still afraid of monsters?
I think we're programmed that way. I think it's evolutionary. Like if you
Is that what your mom and dad would say since they're like
Probably, yeah,
biologists?
they're
Did she find that one on the gene? The afraid of scary movies,
Yeah,
monster
it's like,
gene?
look, if you don't lock your dang door, some saber-toothed tiger or whatever might come get you, or a ghost or a monster or whatever. So you got to be secure.
And that's how you keep people safe. So like, I guess for children, I don't know. I don't scare my kids with monsters, but my wife, she used to think her parents have like a canal behind their house. And she used to think that they told her there was a swamp monster. If she went down next to the canal and got in the water, the weeds and stuff, it was like a weed monster. It would pull her leg down and pull her down. So she never went by the canal. I mean, it's Florida. There's alligators there.
Yeah, it's a way-
Probably kept her safe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't want to go down there. You're not going to listen to logic when I tell you it's not safe. Well, here's why it's not safe. Because friggin' Jason or a swamp monster, whoever's going to grab you and drag you down.
So all these horror movies are really just keeping people safe. And we're all about safety, right?
Yeah, it's a cautionary
Personal injury
tale.
attorneys.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like preventing people from negligence. Scare them.
Yeah, don't go in that room that you don't know what's in there. Don't drink the liquid that you don't know what it is. It's probably cursed. Don't do that.
Probably is cursed. Yeah, like, horror movies, it's like on a cell phone.
Yeah.
That could be scary. In real life, that's scary to me. Like, that's what I'm afraid of. Someone on their cell phone driving down the road. I'm afraid of, like, some refrigerant leaking out of a supermarket refrigeration unit, and I slip on the floor. Now, that's a horror movie for me.
Yeah, that's legit. Like you never know how close you are to having like the worst day of your life, and it
Yeah.
could be because of an accident, could be because of an injury, could be because a ghost is haunting you.
Yeah, the psychology of a personal injury attorney. I'm horrified all the time. I don't drive near semi-trucks.
Yeah.
I literally will slow down. I'll take a longer way not to go on I-75. I try to stay away from semi-trucks.
It's like Final Destination. Everybody was traumatized by the log truck. Like, like that's real. That happens.
Yeah. Oh, there was a movie when I was in maybe high school. I remember watching it with my cousin Wes and my dad. It was about a semi-truck. Let's quiz your. I don't know any horror movies. Semi-truck
To be tested.
Horror movie. I know one.
Okay.
I think I know the name of it. What is it?
Semi-truck horror movie. I don't know. There was Final Destination, I think 2 or 3. There's Duel, which is a Steven Spielberg movie about a semi-truck. I don't know. I don't know what one you're thinking of.
Ew, is it called Jeepers Creepers?
Oh yeah, Jeepers Creepers.
I think that's what it's called
Yeah.
because I remember they were playing that old song from back in the Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those eyes? I think is the song. So that was just one random question about horror movies, and you just listed off multiple semi trucks. Is that its own genre? Truck horror movies?
Yeah, sort of. There's like possessed entity or possessed object. Like there's car movies. There's The Car, which is about an evil car. There's Christine, which is about an evil car. There's Rubber, which is about an evil tire.
Oh my goodness. You really know horror movies. I don't think we've ever talked this in depth about it.
I know a few.
So did I cut you off? I get excited. You know that. Sometimes I cut people off, but I always try to get back to it. Did you say your favorite genre of horror movies?
I said Ghosts.
Ghosts. Oh yeah, that's right. Because then I talked about Cas. You talked about
The Shining.
The Shining, and I remember the story.
I'm going to the hotel where The Shining was set.
Is that where you vacation? I know you recently. So do you plan all your vacations around? I know you like trains because you're always going on trains for vacation. It was pretty cool. But you went to Salem, which I do want to go to Salem.
It's
I feel
cool.
like I hear it's a pretty cool city. I heard it from you. I've heard it from other people in the past. So where is The Shining? Where's this hotel or whatever?
So there's 2. One is in Oregon, and I've already been to that one. That's where they did the outside. The other one is called the Stanley Hotel. It's in Colorado. It's in Estes Park, Colorado. And
Oh,
that's where they
nice.
did the
I never
inside
noticed.
and going on a tour.
You want to know a fun fact about me?
Yeah.
When it comes, I just remember this. So, my family has been in Florida for at least 5 generations, but it could be longer. Because we have our own family graveyard. It's right near UCF in Orlando, and
Can I go?
Yeah, you can. It's called the Rouse Drowdy Cemetery, and Dora Drowdy, who founded Mount Dora, that was like my grandmother's grandfather's mother or something like that. But we have our own graveyard, or cemetery is a nice way I think you say it. I was saying graveyard because I think that's a horror movie term for it. I guess there's Pet Cemetery with James. I did watch that one.
That's a good one.
But anyways, so we I didn't realize it was haunted or anything. You remember the book Weird for It? You probably went to Barnes and Noble a lot.
I went to Barnes and Noble.
I loved Barnes and Noble in high school. That was like we'd go there and then we'd go to the movie theater, me and my buddies, every single weekend. So maybe I do like knowledge. I don't know. I always went there in high school.
Some knowledge.
So it was right on the front display case, Weird Florida. And my buddy, we'd all go look for our different books and then like show them to each other, laugh, find funny stuff, whatever we thought was interesting. He brings over this one. He's like, yo, there's a cemetery right down the road, like 3 miles away. And it's haunted. It was one of the top 100 most haunted cemeteries in the, like, it was definitely in the state. It was like top 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. And apparently there's like a little girl who, when you're driving down, I think Rouse Road. Yeah. When you're driving down Rouse Road, that makes sense. Rouse Drowdy Cemetery. That was the other family that our family, I guess, was friends with or something. I don't know.
You joined that first.
For a cemetery, apparently. But it was right down Rouse Road, and this little girl comes out and stares at you and everything. So we went down. And I'm like, this is my family's cemetery. I was like, what? So my family has ties to the ghosts. Yeah.
There's ghosts in your family.
Yeah. So
the great aunt or whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of weird though. I don't like the fact that everyone says my family's cemetery is haunted. I really don't like that. I don't think it is. But yeah, so I'm tied to some horror stuff, I guess, in Florida.
That's cool. I like to visit a good cemetery.
Yeah.
Spare time.
I'll have to think about whether I want to go to my family's cemetery. If you're just going for horror stuff. But I thought it was interesting.
I'm not going to stir up the ghosts intentionally. I've seen enough.
That's one of my family members.
Family members. Not to do that. Am I going to be like, come at me, ghosts?
Yeah. Everyone's saying my family members here. I'm sure it was the Rouse family. It wasn't the Drowdy family.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was the other family.
Very nice.
I never really looked into it, but I guess. Anyway,
you should go.
I should. When I go, it's different. I have family members there.
Yeah.
So
it's legit.
Yeah, I've never seen a ghost. It's pretty. It has like a nice little fence around it. It's got like big oak trees everywhere. I don't know, but I guess we'll leave that subject alone. As I talk about it, I'm just like, yeah, this is a sort of weird subject.
I've never seen a ghost in real life, so maybe I can meet one.
I had a ghost. I had a ghost that I lived with in law school.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Maria over here in the car. Obviously, I don't think so, but there's all these ghost stories at Stetson, and I used to always joke. I'd hear these noises. I'd tell my friends, I got a ghost, because I was on campus. Yeah. It was the Hotel Royale. Like Babe Ruth signed his last contract with the Yankees right there, and everything at Stetson's campus. At least that's what everyone says. And it was where the Yankees had spring training during that time. But I used to always make the joke that it was haunted. I'd tell my friends, oh, that's a ghost. Obviously, I don't believe in ghosts, guys. I saw Maria's look. If anyone out there is getting the same look at me, look, I'm having fun. This is a podcast.
Yeah,
it's a podcast. But yeah, so I lived with a ghost for my first year of law school. Yeah.
You listen to my parents, I grew up with ghosts. So.
Yeah. So I wonder how many other people were weird like us. I don't know.
Only a few.
Yeah, probably a few. Not too many, though. I think... We have this like little agenda. They tell me what to talk about, and then I just throw it to the side.
Bullshit.
Let me see if I missed anything. I sort of just went off on all. I remember one thing I wanted to talk about. It's not on here. Well, we do want to give a shout out to Horror and a Half, your podcast. Everyone go check it out. What platform is it on?
It is on Apple Podcasts, so pretty much anywhere that you could find podcasts, you could find it out there. Horror and a Half.
Awesome. We do have a rapid fire round before we go into the Florida Man Law segment of our show where we talk about a weird something weird that happened in Florida Man news. But before we go rapid fire, what's your favorite restaurants, favorite things to do, Sarasota, Manatee counties? What do you like?
Sarasota. I like to go downtown. I think it's really cute downtown. There's the farmer's market on the weekends down there. There's an old used bookstore downtown. That's
I've been
cool.
there before.
Yeah.
It smells good in there.
It's a weird place. It's
Yeah.
kind of creepy,
The,
actually.
the old book smell.
Yeah.
It's, I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. What else do I like to do in Sarasota? I just like to be around. I like to go to the bookstore. I love to go to the movies. That's not
The movies.
Sarasota specific.
Yeah.
I've been to the Burns Court. That is Sarasota specific. That's our independent movie theater here.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to see all the movies for the Oscars for the Academy Awards, that's sometimes the only place you can go.
Yeah,
to
for
see
sure.
stuff.
And I think we have our advertisement there, the Lakewood
Lakewood
Ranch one.
Yeah, I seen us.
Yeah.
Seen us up on the big screen. It's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. The marketing does what marketing does. I remember once I was going just to watch a movie with my kids and my wife. I forget some kid movie. And I'm like, that's me. And my kids are like, oh, Daddy, that's you. And I'm like, I was just as surprised as them. I'm like, yeah, it is me. That's pretty cool.
We're out there. Out there.
Yeah. So rapid fire set round. Most underrated horror film.
I think the original Wicker Man is actually pretty underrated. I think people think of the Nick Cage one and how dumb it is, but the original Wicker Man is cool.
I have no idea what that is, but for you guys listening
If you want a little bit of an obscure one.
out there, obscure one. Favorite spooky season activity. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, I am so ready for spooky season. I love spooky season. I love it all. I can't wait to decorate my house, and I'm going to decorate my office.
I know you always decorate your office. It's a good office for October
Yeah,
type.
I've got my stuff lined up, ready to pull it out
What's the cool?
1 week.
You're checking your watch. What's the coolest thing you have in your office, spooky wise?
Coolest thing I have in my office, spooky wise, I'm going to be bringing in these like little disco, like a ghost and a cat and stuff. So
Okay, I'll look forward to seeing that.
I'm gonna see the whole setup.
One thing you cannot live without.
Oh, realistically, my phone.
Yeah,
Candles. I love candles. I always have candles burning in my house.
Nice. We started a new bedtime routine for my kids, and we only have candles on after dinner to calm them down. It's been working really well, but I like candles too. So, nice candles. Dream guest for a horror and a half. Oh, if you could, that's a good question. Whoever thought of that one?
It's sort of like realistically, I would love to get my friend Lisa, who hates horror movies.
No, not realistically. Let's be unrealistic. It's more fun.
Unrealistically, high in the sky, John Carpenter.
Okay, I don't know who he is, but I believe you.
He's a horror director. He's a horror director and composer. He did Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. Okay, I know that movie.
He did The Thing.
Yeah, that's classic. Everyone knows that.
And he's a grumpy old man.
Is he?
Yeah.
You like grumpy old
I
man?
love grumpy old man. He'll just tell you like it is, man.
That's your kindred spirit.
Yeah, I was born to be a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Well, one day maybe. No. But anyways, if you weren't doing law or podcasting, what would you be doing?
Something in movies. I would love to do something in movies. I would love to hang out on a set, or even like, what's the word? Critic. Be a critic.
A critic.
Yeah.
I think you could set up scenes. Like who decorates the scene. That's obviously huge because scene is part of the one of the biggest parts of the movie.
Yeah, I just want to be there, like cut, and I go in and like fix the flowers or whatever.
You make them look more scary.
Yeah.
You just start pulling off
Yeah.
petals. Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you and I didn't ask you. Best legal horror film, like law related.
Law related. Probably The Devil's Advocate is my personal favorite because it's Keanu Reeves, who I love, and he plays a lawyer from Florida. They call him he's the best trial lawyer in Alachua County.
Alachua,
yeah,
okay.
Gainesville.
Yeah.
And he goes to New York. He gets like a hot shot opportunity in New York, and he finds out that his boss in New York is the literal devil, who's been using him to manipulating him and using him to manipulate things and build his empire.
Yeah, that's when you should quit. He should have quit that. What did he do? Did he quit the job or did he work for the devil?
He worked for him for a while. I think once he figured it out, he was like, I gotta get out. He's like, you can't quit me. I am the devil. But,
Yeah, he made a deal with the devil.
Figure it out.
He literally made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
So, final thing, the Florida man story. Where? You do this for listeners. You got to wrinkle the papers.
Get some ASMR in here.
We actually have, for Florida man segment, we have one for you. It happened in Brevard County, where you grew up.
Nice.
This happened in 2018. And I messed up these papers. So anyways, Brevard County Sheriff's deputies were responding to a 911 call when a lady said her son was threatening her with a pair of swords. This Florida man had samurai swords he was holding, refused to put them down, and then he threw one of the swords at deputy, and then they used them for a stun gun. That shows great restraint on the officer's side. But he had... So a little weird with the samurai swords, an adult, but he also had a blood alcohol content of 0.36. So 0.36, being a former prosecutor, it's pretty high.
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So my question is, as this relates to horror movies, do vampires in movies, can they get drunk? And would they get drunk? Would they be picking the wrong victim if they drank his blood when 1/3 of his blood was alcohol?
Yes, it depends on what vampire lore you subscribe to, but generally, yes. If you're drinking tainted blood or poisoned blood or drugged blood, it could go bad for you.
Yeah. So does that happen to any vampires? They drink their own blood?
Yeah. There's a TV show, What We Do in the Shadows, where they drink some drug blood and they basically trip the whole night because they drank some drug blood.
Yeah, there's some weird horror movies. The more you talk about it, I'm like, I know I don't watch horror
There's
movies.
a lot of different kinds. There's something for everyone.
So, if it was a horror movie, the theme would either be vampire, based off this new segment, or it could be slasher.
Could be.
Slasher theme.
Yeah, somebody with a big knife. That's a classic of the horror genre. And what is a sword but a very big knife?
That's right. So, with all that said, definitely the weirdest podcast I think we've ever had so far, and hopefully we will ever have.
That's what I bring to the table.
This is weird, the whole horror movie. We'll probably air this around Halloween time, I imagine, because
You should, too.
this is, at least it'll be on theme, because this horror movies, I don't know, you know how I feel on horror
Don't save
movies.
it for Easter, you know.
Yeah, it's not any other holiday where we can possibly air this. But I think we learned a lot about horror movies.
I hope so.
Definitely makes me want to watch maybe a few more, just sort of get into them.
Give me some bricks.
But with that said, that just ends and concludes one Hale of a podcast with myself, Patrick Hale, Rose Kasweck, our guest, brought to you by Hale Law, accident attorneys. And remember, what do we tell the insurance companies?
Go to
You're going to Hale?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. There we go. Goodbye, everyone.